Let's bring in Republican Congressman from Tennessee, Tim Burchett. Congressman, welcome to the show. Great to see you, sir.
Great to see you, ma'am.
What details can you reveal about yesterday's meeting with Speaker Johnson about this one encompassing bill, this legislation, and can that even happen?
Yes, ma'am. Anything can happen up here. It's just you've got 435 members of Congress, and I dare say 435 ginormous, as my daughter would say, egos. So I suspect, yeah, I'm sure you've heard that saying before too. Yeah, it's a daunting task. Anything is possible up here, but it's just, a glacier moves past us faster. So I would hope that that's very optimistic, but I'm not sure if that is actually reality.
And, sir, I saw you on the floor on Friday. You were very busy along with your colleagues. There is a razor-thin majority for Republicans in Congress. Will there be enough in this sweeping multi-policy bill to bring in support from Democrats?
I think so. If they want anything funded in their district, that's the dirty secret up here. That's why we've got a it's no secret, $36 trillion debt. You pass a 3,500 page spending bill, and you read down to about page 25 to find out what you need for your district, or what you promised some K Street lobbyists, or who you need degrees or whatever, and then you vote for it. That's why we're $36 trillion in debt, ma'am. And we've got spending bills that passed over the last year or years, actually, that less than 15% of it was actually what it was set out to do, like the transportation bill. It was, dare say 85% of it was not anything to do with real transportation. So we've got our real problems here. I wish we could get back to single issue spending bills. That's what we do in Tennessee. That's why the budget is balanced. You can't hide behind stuff. You can't pass a dog catcher's bill and sneak a pay raise in on the backside of it in Tennessee. But in Washington, D.C., dadgum, you better watch every bill, because they'll suspend the rules and load it up, and there you go.
So, Congressman, it seems you are not a big fan of this one legislation, this one bill.
I'm a big fan of transparency, ma'am. If the American public can see into it, if you and the media, even the media, if you all can see into it and can expose everything in it, then dadgum, I'm all for it. But I just don't like when we hide stuff, and both parties do it. We are crooked, as we say in East Tennessee. We are crooked as a dog's leg when it comes to that stuff. We go home and preach the red meat and tell all our members, our folks back home, what we're doing and how bad the other side is, and then we come up here and wink and nod and party with the other side, and then we go on and vote for a bunch of garbage, and both sides do it.
Congressman, can I tell you how refreshing your transparency is this morning? Thank you for that. I want to go back to the vote on Friday, the speaker vote. You were instrumental in brokering conversations between Johnson and those conservative holdouts, 3 of them. Can you tell us more about those conversations?
Yes, ma'am. Thomas Massie was not going to do that, was not going to vote. There was no reason to go after him or talk to him. Thomas is a very principled man. When he said what he said, that was it. But the others are also very principled, yet I'd been there. I'd voted to oust the former speaker, and it was successful. And, ma'am, I caught hell from all sides, right, left, middle, everybody, all my contributors, people never going to support me again, what have you. And most of them have come around. But I saw people getting in their face, and I just said, nah, man, this ain't happening. So I went over to talk to the speaker, and you can see that right there. I waited and waited and waited, and he saw me. And he motioned me over to Burchett, come over here and sit, because we've been great friends, and we pray together, we talk together, we talk about things that are important. And I said, hey, if you could just pull so-and-so over, I think that would work. I said, if you could just get with them. And because that's generally a lot of times, it's always the simplest thing. And we always look past that in this game. And I waited, though. A bunch of people were already there. And I just sort of waited my turn, and I saw them crowding around the speaker and doing the usual, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm with you, I need my bridge funded, what have you. And I mean, I know the human condition, and I know Mike Johnson, and I know he really cares about this country and what we need to do. And I prayed about it, and it just, sometimes a blind hog gets an acorn.
Well,
and I was fortunate to be in that spot.
We were watching you, and it's great to hear what was happening behind the scenes. So thank you so much for that context. Let's talk about Johnson and Trump. They need unity across the GOP to get Trump's agenda through. What is your message to your fellow Republicans on working together in this 119th Congress, sir?
It hasn't changed. Donald Trump's the biggest dog in the pound, ma'am, and he continues to baffle his critics, and I couldn't be happier. And I know it's the American agenda. He's very popular in Tennessee. In my district, he's incredibly popular. So I think those things are what he seized upon. America, the wall. I hope it's going to be decrease spending, increase the economy, decrease inflation, all those things. They're just very simple that translate very well to average America. And that's who elected this president. And I think we better realize it. And if we don't, we're going to suffer the consequences. And we'll be back in the minority, and we'll be back going as far left as they can go.
I feel like Hakeem Jeffrey said the same thing across the aisle. Unity is key here. We know Monday marks the 4-year anniversary of the January 6th attack on the Capitol. At the time of the attack, sir, you called it disgusting. You called it criminal. You also called the House Select Committee that investigated that day an orchestrated sham. Well, now Speaker Johnson is pledging to investigate that committee. What do you expect to uncover here? And I have to ask, is this necessary? Liz Cheney isn't even serving anymore, and we know President-elect Trump will be in the White House in a little over 2 weeks.
There's a case to be made for justice. If people were coached, if they were done, if they were told what to say, if evidence was withheld, that's a problem. That's a real problem. And all those things were true. I was the last House member to leave the House floor on January 6th. And I made my case to members of that committee, and I was never allowed to speak. And I realized at that point they didn't want to know what went on. I'm sorry, my lights went off there. They didn't want to know what went on. All they wanted was the political input, and they did so. And Speaker Pelosi blocked our members from being on that committee, and that was the first time something like that had ever happened in the history of this thing. So, yeah, if the law was broken, I think we need to address that. And one thing that should be addressed: Benny Johnson, Speaker, and Speaker Pelosi both voted not to uphold the elections, the prior elections when Trump won. So, it's a double standard up here, and we have very short memories, ma'am.
Well, hopefully we'll get answers this week. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett, thank you again, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. It's a real pleasure.
Thank you.